going back to school, summer's over. We're out there to educate the public on the fact that school's back in session and, it's time to get used to, driving slow in the school zone again. All the school zones are active at 20 miles an hour in the mornings and in the afternoon, and some of our school districts, that 20 mile an hour school zone is active all day long. But it's all about that reaction time for safety. So that 20 miles an hour is actually a pretty safe speed for you to be able to physically adjust to something that happens immediately. It gives you a good stopping time. At 20 miles an hour, if a kid were to walk out in front of you at 20 miles an hour, you're probably not going to strike a child or another vehicle. With the bus stops that are on the roadway, kids are going to be crossing the roadway, typically in front of the bus, whether they're coming to get on the bus or whether they're getting off the bus. So people really need to be aware of that and not be concerned about their time and be more concerned about just, the safety of the kids at that point. So the 2 minutes you're going to sit behind the school bus while it unloads or loads children is way worth. Most of the schools in the county, we have kids that ride the bus, we have kids that come in cars with their parents, and then we have kids that walk to school, we have kids that ride their bikes to school. So being aware of that school zone and the areas around the school and the traffic that the kids are, pedestrian traffic of the kids being on bicycles, some kids do not take advantage or use the crosswalks. So they really need to be prepared and observant as they're driving anywhere in that school area. More parents take their kids to school nowadays than ride the bus, so we end up having a larger volume of traffic around all the schools due to parents dropping off and picking up their kids in the morning and the afternoon. I would just encourage parents to be more attentive when they're in that school zone area so that they don't have any distractions, because we can never absolutely determine what the kid's actions are going to be. A kid might be walking down the sidewalk, walking to the crosswalk, and then just out of the blue decide they're going to cross the street right there. So, and drivers of vehicles need to be aware of that, and they need to be prepared to make an immediate stop for stuff like that. As schools come back into session, we dedicate time to the school zones to get back out there and get everybody refreshed on the fact that, hey, summer's over, school's back in session, the school zones are going to be active, and our deputies are out there enforcing that traffic zone. For the sake of the safety, of the children in our schools and everybody else around, they just need to take a little bit extra time, take a breath. Don't be frustrated by the fact that you have to sit behind a bus that has its red lights on for a minute while it unloads or loads children. Just about paying attention to the surroundings there, not being distracted by anything else. When you're taking your kid to school or when you're picking your kid up from school, be attentive to what you're doing. Try not to be distracted by anything else and help avoid any incidents from taking place.